Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. So happy to welcome from our friends from SCORE, Vera Burton and Pat Ripple. Good morning.
Good morning.
Exactly what SCORE is. Does it stand for something, first of all?
It used to.
What did it used to stand for?
I guess we're allowed to say that.
Okay.
Service Corps Retired Executives.
Okay. Is it still retired executives or is there more to it?
Not at all. Vera, you want to
What is SCORE today?
SCORE today is working and people who have left the workplace. But yeah, we do have quite a few individuals who are still in the workplace. So.
People are taking a longer time to leave the workplace these days. I don't know if it's economically motivated or they just don't want to stop because, you're not tired. You're at the top of your game. Why stop? But you might want to do a bit of a change. You're finding that?
Well, some of the individuals are younger individuals that are not at retirement age yet. We're seeing quite a few.
I think we probably have more than a couple in their 30s.
Yeah. And are they helping others get started or are they receiving the services?
Helping others get started.
Isn't that cool?
Sharing their expertise.
So those in their 30s who, let's say, they really are pretty savvy as far as technology and they can help others get going on it?
I think that's the really big thing is they're much more up on technology. And also can relate to some of our younger clients.
Okay, I'm really surprised in a very happy way to know that 30-year-olds are volunteering. Is that what you're finding?
Yes, I think, and some indeed came to us from being a client. But then they're enthusiastic and it's great.
Nice to hear. Very good to hear. All right, SCORE then helps people get started in business in what ways?
We help individuals understand what it is they want to do. Someone will have an idea that I want to start a business. So the question that I usually ask them, are you really wanting to run a business? Do you know what you want to do? And what is your product or what is your service going to be?
When they come to you, do they have a good idea about that? Or they just kind of maybe think, hey, I got an idea that somebody should do this, but I've got no idea how to do a business plan or a budget or...
Say yes and yes.
Okay.
We have people all areas of the scale of readiness.
So those of you, and Vera, wide background, both in the professional sector and the volunteer sector, what brought you to help others get going on this?
The invitation, first of all. Yeah, I knew SCORE existed, but I was putting up my heels in a vacation spot, and I got an email from someone that says, "What are you doing these days?" And I made the mistake, I guess, of responding. And they thought that I had some skills that I could share. And I said, well, when I'm back home, I'll look into it. So I went to a chapter meeting, and I thought, I think I could do what these people are doing. And especially with my volunteering previously, when I learned that we worked with both for-profit and nonprofit organizations, I thought I've got a long history in the not-for-profit. So I thought I could be helpful there. And that's what I do a lot of.
Do we find maybe a trend of more people with an idea of a not-for-profit or some kind of a service rather than a product and a for-profit? Is there a trend or you get both? You get everything?
We get both.
Have you seen, is it like, I picture it like Shark Tank where people are coming to you with this idea. Is it like that?
We're nicer.
I'm sure you're much nicer.
And we usually don't have any financing to offer.
Okay.
Not real.
Not really.
But what you have is far more valuable because it's the know-how. And not just know-how. You don't tell somebody how to do it and send them on their way. There's a coming alongside, isn't there? Describe the relationship.
There is. We definitely strive to have a long-term relationship with our clients. And it's so thrilling to me to be able to offer, just for an example, I was working with a client the other day. I was helping him get his finances, straightened out. And eventually we're going to, be able to do some financial metrics, some benchmarking. But he has some pretty good plans, so I introduced him to one of our other mentors who's an amazing when it comes to strategic planning, and just to listen to those two relate. And the client was very excited.
Some minds are just built that way, aren't they?
They are.
It's very interesting. And when you can plug them in with somebody who that's just what they need, but here's a young person or even an older person with an idea.
Right.
Walk us through what happens when somebody comes to you and says, I have this idea. I have no idea where to go from here. What happens?
Well, we first do an assessment of where they stand in their business process. A lot of them have a fairly good passion about what they want to do, but see if they have a business plan, if they have financing, just walk them through some basics, almost like a triage type thing, and then...
Do I need to come with all kinds of plans, or can I just show up at your door and have you pick my brain? What's the best way to do it?
I think the best way would be to come with something outlined. It's always easier to remember what you want to do if you've written it down. But if you don't, we don't turn you away. We say still come, but then we are going to help you record those ideas. And that's where the business plan starts. The business plan is recording what it is you want to do and how you want to do it.
Is it kind of an incubator for small businesses?
I guess in a sense of ideas and encouragement, we don't offer any physical space like a typical incubator, but definitely if someone's coming to us with just to help, and it doesn't have to even be a startup. It's existing businesses we work with, someone working through a problem or more happily a growth scenario where they need some advice on how to move that forward.
Are you allowed to tell us some of the people you've worked with? No? Is there, okay, so there's a confidentiality agreement as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Would you be allowed to tell us some of the very cool ideas that have come through?
Well, maybe we can tell you what we do. Like for some existing organizations that are not for profit, we've helped many of them with their strategic planning. We've helped them with personnel issues, fundraising.
Oh, gosh, isn't that always, everybody needs help with that.
Yes.
And we do it through mentoring and workshops. And Vera mentioned the nonprofit. And one of the most popular workshops we have is grant writing for nonprofits.
So that's there. Now, is there a charge to participate in SCORE?
Not for mentoring. It's completely free for workshops. And are you still on the workshop committee?
Yes.
You want to talk about the nominal charge?
Yeah, we charge a nominal fee for workshops of $10.
Oh, my goodness. $10 to go to a grants writing workshop?
Yes, it's just to cover the expense of us putting on the shop because it costs us to do the workshop at certain locations.
But that sounds like a pretty fair investment if you are going to be writing, a grant for hundreds of thousands of dollars and get it, then, and you've put in a $10 investment. Do you hear back from people who have benefited from your services and then they become volunteers in turn?
Yes, both that become volunteers and that do not. Many of the organizations are individuals. We meet with them repeatedly. And we get feedback, and they come back with another opportunity. Don't want to say problem, but they will come with us again to work on another opportunity, and you hear the success of the past one.
Nice to hear that there are companies having growing pains. Our economy seems to have turned around so that's the kind of help that you're giving now rather than shrinking pains?
Now that you mention it, I have had more clients with, opportunities rather than help me fix my cash flow because I can't pay my bill type of scenario. So it's a lot more fun that way.
How long has SCORE been around?
It was founded in 1964.
Wow.
It's quite an old organization. Yes.
Okay. Did they used to call it retired executives?
Yes, it used to be. In fact, if you look at our 990, it will still say the Service Corps of Retired Executives.
Okay. All right. And that's how I knew about you back then.
Right.
Okay. And SCORE now you are expanding and growing to include maybe folks who didn't traditionally weren't the ones starting up businesses. More non-traditional folks, entrepreneurs, let's say.
Right. I would say our clients have become more non-traditional as well as the mentors have become more non-traditional.
So we're seeing more women and minorities.
Yes, we are definitely striving for diversity. Our client base is diverse, and we need the mentors in place to help them.
Oh, well, this is very cool. So why would a person, now why, let's say that it's me, I'm a woman, and I've got an idea. Why should I contact SCORE? What's there for me?
The opportunity to understand more about what you're going to do and have someone listen to you and walk you through the steps.
Is it different, or is it pretty much the same opportunities just opened up to a wider group of people, or are there certain things that need to be navigated, say, for a woman than for a man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Same
and
thing.
I think one other reason to come to SCORE is just tapping into the wealth of knowledge, the depth of experience of our mentors. They're an amazing group of people.
And are you seeing more women and a more diverse clientele come to SCORE? Is it happening? Or we're putting out the word out there that we want to make it happen?
We're putting the word out, definitely.
I think we've always had a fair amount of women clients, potential clients, come to us. And in fact, some of them specifically asked to work with a woman mentor.
Oh, that's nice. So are there some women mentors around so that we can be paired up, woman to woman?
Yeah, our chapter now, I think, is about 30% of us are women. Yes,
Very close.
Very close, and very diverse backgrounds.
Pat, we know how Vera got roped into this. How did you?
I actually hunted SCORE down.
Nice.
I was with American Greetings, and then I decided, well, I was in Cleveland, so I didn't really have an opportunity to volunteer while all I did was work and drive, basically. So when I left the full-time world, I looked up the local chapter, and I think I was their first woman member.
Really?
It was back
well,
in 2000.
how was that? What was that like?
It was wonderful. They were so gracious and excited to have me be part of the group, and very accepting. And that was 16 years ago.
Okay, you weren't assigned making the coffee.
No, not. In fact, they made me treasurer the day I joined.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's a nice greeting.
Yes, it
was.
A
little vote of confidence
I
there.
have very fond memories of, and I looked around the room, and it was, for me, it was the titans of the Canton business community were sitting, some of them were sitting in the room with me, and I says, this is really, really cool.
And isn't it cool that people, and we know some names in this area, that they would take what they know and rather than go golfing every day, invest that time into up-and-comers.
Yeah, I have to tell this cute little story. It was about the first time I was working in the SCORE office, and the phone rang, and I answered and asked how I could help, and the voice on the other end said, I want to start a greeting card company. And here he is, the person who happened to answer the phone to answer his question. I was with American Greetings for 14 years. So
how perfect.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Wasn't he amazed?
He was amazed.
Did he think you were kidding? Well, I'm from American Greetings. How can I help you?
I think he was amazed, but happy.
Yes. Was he able to do that?
Yes. We got his cards in some local stores, and it was a lot of fun. I introduced him to some of the people from American Greetings, and they were helpful.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah, it was.
And today, if you go on our website, you can see who the mentors are, and you can see their profiles. And we do have some individuals who've researched SCORE, and they call in, and they will ask for a particular mentor.
And you can do that.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can.
And they're available. Do you find any particular sector, like greeting cards would be one? Is there some kind of area of business that is more prominent or likely than another?
We have such a variety of clients. It's just amazing. Any product, service you can think of, we've probably helped someone.
That's really fun to know. All right. Well, looking at the time, it always does seem to fly. We do need to take a short break, but we're going to be back with Vera Burton and Pat Ripple from SCORE. We'll be back with a interesting thing happening tomorrow. So stay with us. You're listening to Our Community.